Now let's talk about functional levels, because as you work with Active Directory, you're going to be installing domain controllers into these domains and into these forests, and you've probably picked up on the tendency that Microsoft has to release new products every 2 or 3 years. Now this is a good thing. However, it's just like right now when Windows Server 2008 came out, there's all these great new shiny bells and whistles. But the problem is, if I've got Windows Server 2000 boxes in my organization, they don't know how to speak to those new services. And so the bottom line is I have to find kind of the lowest common denominator of all of my servers to provide what kind of functionalities at the domain and forest level that I want to do. So the functional level determines your domain controller functionality. Now really what this does is it allows the new functionalities of each version of Windows Server to be used incrementally based on the other domain controllers we have. And the functionality across your domain or forest is obviously limited by the oldest server operating system that you have in place. Now, there are 2 levels that we can set functional levels. There's the forest functional level and the domain functional level. Now, let's kind of take a look at these. First of all, some basic things about functional level overall. First of all domain controllers have to be running the correct server version. So if I want to go to Windows Server 2003 functional level, then that means all of my domain controllers in that domain have to be running Windows Server 2003, or I'm not going to successfully go up there, and I'm not going to be able to take advantage of all the new bells and whistles in Server 2003, Server 2008, whatever technology I'm working with. Now here's the next thing. Watch for this on the exam. The functional level on both the forest and the domain have to be raised manually. It does not happen automatically. It never happens automatically. Be careful about questions on the exam when an administrator finally takes that last Server 2003 box out and installs or upgrades it to 2008. Does the domain functional level automatically upgrade to 2008? Absolutely not. You have to go manually do it. It's not automatic. Said that 4 times. Watch for it on the exam. That's one question you'll get right. Now, only domain controllers affect the domain functional level. Don't let them confuse you about this on the exam. We don't care what member servers are at, and we don't care what our workstations are set on. We're only concerned about the servers in our domain that are running Active Directory. They are domain controllers. Next, all servers. Now watch for this when you're dealing with Windows Server 2008. In the domain, there cannot be any NT40 servers. All servers have to be Windows Server 2000, actually it's called Windows 2000 Server, or later before Server 2008 can be added to the domain. So 2008 will not play with NT40. Then here's another one you got to watch for. Once you raise the domain functional level, or even the forest functional level for that matter, it is a one-way change. You cannot roll back to a previous level. You got to go start rebuilding Active Directory all over the place. That's not going to be a good week. Really the rule is you don't want to raise to the next functional level just because you have all your servers at that point, because the thing you want to watch, that's a good time to do it, but you want to watch and make sure that you're not going to have to add some servers, say some Windows 2000 servers a little bit later on. And nowadays in our world and our economy, the budget can really dictate, hey, we've got a couple of these old boxes. They're running Windows 2000 server. Let's just stick them in there and save some money. Can't do that if you've already raised that domain functional level. Now let's look at the functional levels, just so that you'll know what your choices are. You can choose Windows 2000 native, and this means that you have all Windows 2000 servers. You can have Windows Server 2003 servers, and you can have Windows Server 2008. But really what this means is there is no NT4 servers in your domain, in your forest. Next, there's the Windows Server 2003 level. This is pretty easy to figure out, right? This means you've at least got Server 2003 and 2008. You have no Windows 2000 servers. And then, of course, the last one's Windows Server 2008 functional level, and this means that you only have Windows Server 2008 servers. There will be questions about this on the exam, And in the next couple of videos, you're going to see a video in this course called Enabled Functions by Level, and I'll go over what you get in each one of these levels. And then there will be a video called Raising the Domain Functional Level. Make sure you watch those two, because you can be guaranteed you will see stuff about this on the exam, and you need to understand what makes your decisions in moving to these functional level choices. There's functional levels, and then look for those other two videos and we'll dig into this a little deeper.